Hey guys, welcome back to Screw Loose Homestead. Today we're out in our greenhouse. I've been it's been a weird few days. Been monitoring the sun passage and where the sun's shining at.
The glow.
We've come up with an issue. Well, my greenhouse when we built it 3 years ago was in a sunny location. And we knew we had 2 trees on the other side of our property over here that could be a potential problem, but we expected it to be a problem in 5 to 7 years. No, it's a problem now. And we didn't realize it until last week when the leaves fully came on. It's putting our greenhouse in the shade. So today I've been watching, yesterday and today I've been watching where the sun is shining. And I picked out 4 locations to monitor. Of course, our original spot, which is where we're at right now. And then I got a winter chicken lot over here that I keep close to the house for the winter time. I've checked that spot. And then spot number 3 was where my daughter's old camper sits. Last summer it was in the sun all day long. She literally burned up in there. Guys, she's grown. She's an adult. She's not a child. She has her. But so yeah, she lived in the camper last year. Off topic. Anyway, I monitored that spot, and then I monitored the spot down in what we laughingly call the junkyard. Because, well,
Crash Bandicoot.
Our daughter totaled a couple vehicles, and they sat down there for a while. Now they're gone. Out of the 4 spots I monitored, the one with her camper in it did the absolute worst. Where last year it was hit with sun all day long. This year, I guess the trees around it has grown up enough that it's in the shade all day long. So, spot number 3 is out. We will not be putting a greenhouse there. Spot number 1, well, the original spot, I monitored today, and it gets sun between 10 and 4. So, 5 to 6 hours of sunlight, which, if we decide to keep it here, we have to cut down a tree, which,
Possible.
I don't like cutting down trees unless it's necessary.
Well, it's going to be necessary.
But we knew it was going to take it down eventually anyhow, because it's 3 trees growing together out of one spot. And if you know anything about trees growing, that's leaving spots for rot.
Yeah, it'll fall.
Disease. So eventually the tree's got to come down anyway. So that's an option. We can take a tree down and rebuild the greenhouse exactly where it's at. Because we got to rebuild it anyhow because of the roof. Spot number 2. Well, let's talk about spot number 1 first still. We got to take a tree down and rebuild it in the same spot, and it's doable. The pros on this spot is it's attached to a building on our property that has electricity. So it's easy to just throw up a window, put an extension cord through, and run power if I need to run a heater, say on a night that it decides it's going to drop down below 40, and to keep it warm. I've done that this spring. One of the disadvantages of it being right here is it's about 25 foot from the water access. So we had to carry water in or bring a hose. Well, don't like bringing hoses because it comes right through one of the main dog yards, and we've got some chewers. And sorry, there is a wood bee in here, so you might hear some buzzing. So that's the pros and cons of that. We leave it here, have electricity. That's pro. Con is a little bit farther from water than we like, and having to cut down a tree, which we have to cut down anyway, so I'm not even sure that's a con. Spot number 2, which was the chicken lot. Now the chicken lot sits...
It's big.
It's bigger. I can do one bigger. But it sits what? Maybe 3 foot off of the water line, if that.
Yeah.
So it could easily trench in a line and have an actual spigot inside my greenhouse. So water, yay. At the same time, it's probably about 20 foot, 15 to 20 foot away from a power source, an outdoor power source. So, with the carpenter bees back. And it isn't such a big deal. I mean, between my husband and myself and my father-in-law, I'm pretty sure we can wire it up to electricity if we wanted to. And that, as far as it's going, it's not that far. So there's the pros and cons to that. Pro, close to water. 2, con, not close to electricity. The other con is, yes, we'd still have to cut down the same tree, because it's the same tree that causes that tree to get shade about the same time this one. Actually, yeah, that spot. It gets sun at about 10 in the morning to about 4:35. So it gets a little bit more than this, about 30 minutes, 45 minutes more sun than the original spot, the spot we're sitting in right now. Another con to that is this is a 3-sided structure. Because, we built it up against something, so we didn't have to build a back wall. If we build it over there, we have to build
another wall,
which I've got the windows, so that's not such a bad thing. It'd be a self-contained unit, which is, I'm okay with that. And 2, it can be used for more things than just a greenhouse, because when I'm not using it to plant in, I can always put a picnic table in it in the wintertime, and we could use our greenhouse as a warm house, a sunroom. I mean, because in the summertime, in the wintertime, this little greenhouse, it can easily be 30 outside and be 70 in here if the sun's shining. So, it could be multi-purpose use. It'll be bigger. Like I said, the 3rd spot is completely out. The trees we'd have to cut down to get sun on that spot.
They're not even on her property.
Well, the ones in the back ain't, but I'm not worried about them.
Oh.
I'm talking about the 2 big ones right there. One of them is not a light pole, but there's a light on it. It's a tree. And the light, I would say, is what, 40, 45, 50 foot up in the air?
Yeah.
And we want to keep the light so that tree's staying.
The one beside of it, other.
Now, that leaves us with option 1 and option 2. We've already talked about those. Option 3's out, and that leaves us with option 4. Option 4 is at the bottom of our property. There's no way to safely run electric to it. And water would be a breeze too, because it's the water line from the we're on county water, city water, so that water line comes right up through there. We could easily tap into water over there. But for seed starting greenhouse, that's what this is. This is my seed starting greenhouse. We don't want it that far, and so we've talked about that. And I think we've got to. You don't even talk any of this video hardly.
Nope, I just let you go.
Guys, he just got off work, so he's tired. But I've been thinking about it all day today, noticing how, because that spot down there is in sun from, well, it gets sun all day, so it definitely gets its 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. The only thing like I said, see it, it's what, probably 100 foot away from any electricity.
Oh, down there?
Yeah. Not over here, above the garden, down there in the junkyard. There's some pros to it. Well, the only con to it is you can't get electricity to it. I wouldn't want to even try it. Pros, right next to the water line. Be easy to run a water spigot. Pro number 2 is it's right beside our driveway. Literally, there's probably about 70 more foot of driveway coming up the hill from that spot. You have to pass that spot to come on up to the rest of the property. So it would be convenient when you're bringing in soil or stuff like that. It's just right off the side of the driveway. You can stop and unload. So we are going to build a greenhouse down there. It's going to be our starting. This is our seed starting greenhouse. That's going to be our grow out greenhouse. And in the process of making the decision to build a greenhouse down there, is now that the raised bed garden we was going to put above my garden is now going to be moved over there. And I'm not going to put a greenhouse above my garden. I'm going to utilize the sun and do it all over there. I'm still going to have my in-ground garden on the other side of the property, but I'm going to do my raised bed garden and greenhouse over on the other side because, one, the accessibility of water. I have to run 200 foot of hoses down to my garden to water it when we don't have rain. Over here, 125 foot water hose would do good for an in-ground for raised bed garden. And it's a piece of just a small piece of the property that we would never put anything on. No animals. We would never run animals on it because of the water line comes up through there.
Pigs would destroy it.
The pigs would destroy it, and so we would never run animals on it. So it basically becomes a dump yard. That's where everything gets left. It's a trailer parking lot. It just gets used as a junk yard. So this way, you put something down there, it won't get junked up anymore.
My trailer's gonna still park somewhere.
No. But that's our options, guys. Now, Yins will be seeing this on Monday.
Maybe he got tired. Nope.
Yeah, there's that carpenter bee. I would suggest, guys, if you build a greenhouse, paint, seal your wood, because we didn't.
We might just do that when we're taking it down and putting it back up.
Mm-hmm. But, so we'll bring you along on this journey. But I think right now we still have to make the decision between option 1, which is where the greenhouse is, rebuilding right here, or option 2, building it in the winter chicken lot. So, I'm going to get off here because my son-in-law's up there in the woods doing something stupid. And I got to figure out what he's doing. He's a distraction. And feed Ricky, and then I think we're going to call it a night.
Call it done. Just it's tired.
But I'm telling you, we got to figure out something before next season, because it's this last week since the leaves have gotten on the trees. It has ended up with me having to carry 30 flats. I think between 25 and 30 of these out and put them in a sunnier location because they're not getting enough sun in my greenhouse. But anyway, thank you for watching.
And don't forget, like and subscribe.
And hey, if you've got an opinion where we should put the greenhouse, if we should keep it right here, or if we should move it to the chicken lot, or something, if you have a suggestion, please give it to us. But until next time, be good to each other. Do something nice for one another.
And always keep on rattling on.
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.